Hi everyone, welcome to this ValueCase product release. This is one of the most exciting updates, in my opinion, in the recent months, which is our new Kanban board combined with the internal properties that allow you to better track your spaces and processes so you can build your own pipeline, your own project tracking or so directly within the platform. Also, this connects very nicely to our workflows and automations, and I will show you a couple of those use cases today. Now, let's dive right in. The first thing you will notice when you go to your ValueCase dashboard today is this new button to open up the Kanban view. To use the Kanban, you first need to create an internal property that you use for the tracking. And I will just set up one property that's called status here. And we can start with to be started and then add a couple of more stages. I have my stages here. I can also sort them differently if I want to and remove them as well. However, this is fine for me. And then I can select the default value. The default value is important if you want to use this property for all of your spaces, also your past spaces, and you just want to have a preset value for them. So maybe they should all start with to be started. You can also just leave it empty, and then you will have an unassigned column in your Kanban, and you can assign all of those spaces to some of the statuses. I will create this property. Now that's successful. It will be in my table here. However, when I now go back to my Kanban view, you will see that it has been created and I can select a property. So I will select status here. If you have multiple internal properties, these will show up in this dropdown. So you can have multiple, and for different templates, you might want to use a different property, and we make this available here. Now I want to also save my view because I want to use the Kanban view as my default. All my spaces are now in to be started, and I can just move them around here if I want to. Also, one important point is when I go back to my space list on the top, I can, in the columns, show this property as well. So I can select the status property here, and this will show in my space list, and I can update things from here as well. So I could push Microsoft to in progress now. This will live update my Kanban view as well. So depending on how you prefer to work, this property is helpful in the space list as well. And it's not just for the Kanban view. So you could have also multiple at the same time. You could have one for the segmentation and then one for the status. That's totally doable. Another cool thing is that when you're in your Kanban view, and I'm going to save this again, and you go into your properties, you can also add new properties to the cards here. So I could just show, for example, engagement and the current milestone, this is in or so, and this would show on the cards, and I can really customize the view that I want to have. I really like using the plan progress, the plan status, because that's my in-space tracking, so to say. I want to know when the last visit was or how many visits there are. And this is really how I like to work. But it's really up to you how you set this up and up to your process. So for example, if you work with forms, you could show the forms completed here as well. It's really, really flexible to make it work for what you need basically. Now that's the basics of the Kanban, setting up the property, then moving things around and working with it. However, you can use our workflows to make this even more powerful. So I have a basic template here, and I've set this up to have an onboarding plan and an intake form. And let's say after the kickoff is done, I want to move my card to the first in progress stage, right? And then after the intake form is done, I want to move my card of the space into in review. That's possible with our workflows. And I will show you the first use case today, and then the form use case and other use cases you can discover as well. Let me go here and select this basic onboarding template and say move card after kickoff done. I can go to select trigger and say task completed, your onboarding plan, and then the kickoff is done. Now, then I want to have an action, and I can select set property here, and this will allow me to select my internal property, not only my space properties anymore. And here I can select the value, so I can say, for example, in progress. And then I will turn off notify this user because I don't want to have a pop-up when this happens in the space, and create this workflow. But now create a new space from this template, and I will just go with Microsoft here and create my space. Then you will see when I go here and complete the first task that the stage changes. Now, let's just go back, make sure it's in the Kanban. So you see the new Microsoft space here and to be started. And I can go into it, and then I can, of course, by the way, go into the settings and update the property from here as well. But I want to keep it as to be started and just complete the first task of this journey. Let's move to the dashboard and see now what happened. You see that the Microsoft card here was moved to in progress. Now I have actually two Microsoft ones here, and this automatically moves the stage for me. This is really cool if you want to build out automations and automatically track your progress. Let's say you have a form completed column and you want to move a space there automatically, that's possible. Or you want to have a risky column where you put in spaces that are inactive since 7 days or so, that's possible as well. So you can really build out these automations to track your process much easier than before. And it also works the other way around. So let's say I move something to complete, I could also show a new page in the space automatically using the workflows as well. I hope you like this intro. This is really a different way to work with ReadyCase, tracking your process internally, not just externally, and making it hopefully easier for you to keep the overview of all of your spaces. There are a few more things that we mentioned in the product newsletter and in the changelog, so definitely take a look and check out the Help Center as well. But for this video, that's it. And thank you so much for tuning in as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.